Hey friends, welcome back to another video. Today I want to give you a bunch of spread ideas for you to use in your bullet journal during quarantine. These are spreads that I think could help keep you occupied if maybe you're off work, if you're off school and feeling bored and looking for things to keep your mind off the current situation. Some of these are great for that. Some of these are great for helping to be productive or managing mental health. So I hope that at least one of these spreads will inspire you to create something in your bullet journal. Obviously, we all use our bullet journals for different things. We all have different lives and different needs. So I'm sure not all of these will work for everyone, but I tried to include a bunch of variety in this video so that hopefully at least one will resonate with you. So most of these spreads I have already made in my bullet journal, and I'll just be reintroducing you to them in case you missed any of my previous videos. But two of these spreads I'm making in this video from scratch so you can see the process. So the first spread I'm making is a Doodle a day spread. This is a really great option if you are struggling with your creativity at this time. This is something that I've been struggling with for sure. Just feeling a bit burnt out with all of the stress of what's going on and not really knowing what to make, or feeling overwhelmed or intimidated by the idea of creating a full piece of art or a large scale piece of art. So I love the idea of a Doodle a day spread because it allows you to be creative every single day on a really small, simple scale. Doodles are meant to be less intricate, something you can do quite quickly, and I gave myself just a really small area for every single day, so I'm not too overwhelmed to fill that space. Because I was putting the spread on the last free page after my March themed spreads, I decided I would keep all of my doodles to be plant related. You can do this too if this helps. Sometimes reducing the parameters for what you're doing can actually help spark your creativity. So maybe you're just going to draw hats, or maybe you're only going to draw things that are blue. If that works for you, I definitely recommend adding a theme to your doodle a day. If that feels too restrictive, that's fine. You can also just doodle whatever you want every single day. Just tiny little drawings that help you get your creativity flowing, to keep you making things. And who knows, maybe one of your doodles will inspire a larger, more intricate piece of work. For me, creativity is a really great way for meditation and relaxation to help manage my anxiety. But when I am feeling really anxious, it can be hard to get started, and something like a Doodle a day spread can really, really help with that. So I hope you take on this idea if you're struggling with being creative right now. I filmed setting up the spread on the 9th of April, so I added in the first 9 doodles, and I'm going to keep doing this all through April. If you're looking for any of the supplies I used setting up the spread, check out the description box. As always, I will link everything I used down there. Now moving on to the second spread I want to talk to you about in this video, which is a brain dump. I have talked about the benefits of brain dumps many times on my channel, but in case you've missed all of those times, let me tell you, if you've never tried a brain dump, please try one. I think you'll love it. I like to say a bullet journal is a representation of what's going on inside your mind on paper, and a brain dump is the rawest form of this, in my opinion. A brain dump is literally, as the name implies, just dumping everything that's in your brain out onto the page. Notes, worries, thoughts, reminders, tasks, projects, literally anything. Whatever pops into your head, write it down. Once you've emptied literally everything out of your head and you can't think of anything else, I like to go back through and indicate what each one is. So mark tasks versus events versus thoughts. You can do this as you go with different types of bullets, but sometimes it's easier to just write everything down without worrying about assigning a specific type of bullet. This is a great way to calm your mind, and I love to go through and add any more pressing tasks to my weekly from my brain dump. Next up is a spread I set up in my new bullet journal setup video way back in December, which is the ideal day spread. I've talked about this in a couple videos since then, And specifically in the video I made talking about how to be productive when you're all of a sudden working or studying from home, which I will link for you if you haven't seen that yet. But an ideal day spread is a great way to set up for yourself some sort of routine or schedule to try to keep you feeling a sense of normalcy even when you're stuck at home. You can give yourself a start time for your workday and an end time. You can assign times for exercise or breaks for hobbies or family time or journaling and meditation, whatever's important to you and you want to maintain in a schedule or in a routine at this time, add that into your ideal day. Give yourself a little bit of a schedule to follow. Sometimes we need an external force, even if that's just our bullet journal, to keep us on track. Next up is a fun one. It's self-isolation bingo. This is a spread I set up in a live stream with my patrons. I did a self-care bingo about a year ago, and I love this style of spread because it turns fulfilling tasks into a game. So for this one, I tried to add in a bunch of things that will help with your own mental health and well-being during this time, as well as some options for looking out for your loved ones and your community. All of the spaces on this bingo were decided along with my patrons, and of course, you can make your own with whatever's important to you at this time. I will also mention that this self-care bingo with and without the spaces filled in is available for my $3 patrons for download. So if you're interested in getting this bingo to print out and put in your bullet journal, check out my Patreon. It will be linked down below. But this is a really fun one. I've started crossing some off and I'm hoping to get bingo soon. Moving on to a reading tracker, which is perfect for when you're stuck at home. I, of course, have been using this reading tracker to keep me on task for my 100 book reading goal for 2020, but I think it's a really fun idea to make one specifically for being in quarantine. You can create a spread with a bookshelf and list all of the books you hope to get to at this time, and fill in the spines of the books as you go. It's a really nice visual representation of how much you've actually read, and honestly, reading is just the perfect activity for this time. You can do it alone, inside, and it involves a healthy dose of escapism. Another spread idea is right here, a date night spread. If you are quarantined with your significant other, or even if you're quarantining apart, I think it's important to write out a list of ideas for date nights you can do while you're stuck at home or via FaceTime or Skype. Use this as a chance to get creative with how you spend time with the person you love. So for example, we've been doing a lot of movie nights, game nights, playing Scrabble and cribbage and flux. We had a night where we made cookies together. Baking together can be really fun. Work together with your partner to find a bunch of ideas you both are excited to do together at this time, and try to enjoy getting to spend time together, whether it's in person or virtually. My next spread idea is a good old quote page. I know some people look at quote pages as pointless or frivolous additions to a bullet journal, but I honestly find quote pages can really help with my mood and motivation throughout the month. I do my best to pick a quote that pertains to my current life situation, things I'm currently struggling with, and it's really been helping me throughout this time to focus on quotes that give me hope. If you've never tried a quote page in your bullet journal, maybe try one. You might find that it brings you more peace than you would have expected. My 8th spread idea is a line a day spread. This is really great if you find you have fewer tasks to get done during the day and you're trying to find a way to continue to use your bullet journal. A line a day is a great way to start with daily journaling without overwhelming yourself by trying to write multiple pages every single day. I struggle with typical journaling or diary writing, but a line a day spread is a great way to record how you're feeling, what's happening, where you're at every day in a really small, manageable way. Really similar actually to the concept behind the Doodle a day spread. On to our 9th spread idea, which is a 20 ways to love yourself spread. Now, it doesn't have to be 20 ways, it can be however many ways you want, but I think at this time it's important to remember to practice some good old self-compassion, to show ourselves some love, especially those of you who are quarantined alone right now. Write out a list, it doesn't have to be pretty, or it can be if you want it to be, of all the ways that you can show yourself love. Choose things that really do make yourself feel cherished, and try to do at least one of those things every day to try to help fill that part of you that's maybe feeling a little lonely right now. And now on to our final spread of this video, the 10th quarantine spread idea, which is the second spread I'm setting up in this video, which is a self-isolation checklist. So this is a daily well-being checklist for this time, ideas of things to do every single day to keep yourself feeling as good as can be expected. So some of the things I added to the spread are taking a shower, brushing your teeth, tidying up your space, taking a deep breath, reaching out to a loved one, getting your heart rate up, all these things that you can do in just a few moments in the day that could maybe help you from falling into a slump. Another bonus spread idea, if your financial situation has changed during this pandemic, maybe try setting up some form of a budgeting spread or a simple tracker for income and expenses. I can link a video I made on some simple budgeting spreads that I set up in my husband and my financial BuJo a while back if you're looking for inspiration on that front. So there you have it, my 10 plus ideas for spreads you can create in your bullet journal while quarantined at home. I hope that this video gave you some ideas for things that you can add to your bullet journal to help you feel inspired or motivated or connected. This is a really hard time, and I know a lot of us have been shifting how we use our bullet journals, so I wanted to get this video out to all of you to try to help you in this process to find spreads that are actually going to be beneficial to you during this time. If you have more quarantine spread ideas, please leave them in the comments down below. I want even more ideas for what we can all do in our bullet journals. I would love to see your spreads. If you make any spreads inspired by this video, please tag me on Instagram. I love seeing your bullet journals. And that's it. Thank you so much for watching this video. As always, I hope you are all safe and as well as can be expected. My thoughts are with every single one of you. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you very soon in my next one. Bye, friends. I want to take a moment to thank my patrons for their support. Especially your support at this time is so appreciated. My livelihood has been affected at this time, just like so many of us, and your support is really making a big difference in mine and my husband and my kitties' lives, so thank you so much for your support. I want to shout out our newest patrons, Katie, Mochi BuJo, Erin, Carolyn, Stasserl, and Katie. Welcome all of you to the squad. I am so excited to have you with us. I've been adding some bonus rewards here and there, some activities to try to keep us all entertained and connected at this time, so thank you for joining us. If you at home have the means and are interested in joining the squad, feel free to check us out. There's a link in the card and in the description box down below. If you can't manage to be a patron at this time, I completely understand. Please don't feel pressured to support me if you are struggling right now. That is not something I would ever want. If you're looking for something else to watch, I recommend you check out this video and this video.